Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits. Those are the first words of the first cartoon short to feature the animated legend Bugs Bunny, a wild hare, from 1940. Those iconic words were spoken by a gentleman named Fudd, Elmer Fudd. The first draft of that line, when they were workshopping the character, was probably quite a bit different. "Silence! I need silence!" yelled Reginald Fudd. "I need you to be extremely, extremely quiet. I am pursuing a rascally rabbit, and I intend to kill him with my rifle." See, not as good. That's why they do rewrites in Hollywood. Anyway, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM. This is the final night of our programming featuring February's star of the month, Bugs Bunny. We can't do it next Friday because that's when we kick off 31 Days of Oscar on TCM, where every movie we show until the Academy Awards on March 15th is an Oscar winner or nominee. But we're not there yet. Tonight, we have a wabbit to one down. We started the week with the Oscar-nominated short, A Wild Hare. Since then, we've had cartoons featuring bugs with some of the most familiar faces from Warner Brothers Animation, including Yosemite Sam, Wile E. Coyote, and Witch Hazel. Tonight, we circle back to the nemesis who began it all, Elmer Fudd, as well as another of the most popular cartoon characters ever created, Daffy Duck. In the early 1950s, Warner Brothers animator Chuck Jones, along with his frequent collaborator, writer Michael Maltese, took the tried-and-true storyline of Elmer hunting bugs and added Daffy to the mix, crafting 3 shorts now known as the Hunting Trilogy. Up next, Doc, that trilogy. From 1951, Rabbit Fire. From 1952, Rabbit Seasoning. And released in 1953, Duck, Rabbit, Duck. These 3 shorts pose a central question that has really boggled the minds of cartoon lovers for decades. Is it duck season or rabbit season? Truth is, it's basketball season. How do I know? Well, it's always basketball season. It never ends. Back to our heroes. Warner's introduced Daffy in the 1937 short Porky's Duck Hunt, directed by Tex Avery and voiced by who else? Mel Blanc. In those early days, Daffy lived up to his name, darting and whirling about, yelling, "Woohoo!" Over the years, other directors had a hand in Daffy's development, but in these brilliant shorts, the singular Chuck Jones transformed Daffy into the savvy, insecure character we've come to know, along with his catchphrase, "You're despicable," which I cannot and will not try to imitate. The trilogy also established the enduring frenemies relationship between Bugs and Daffy. One writer likened it to Daffy being Bugs's long-suffering sidekick, as Bob Hope was to the unflappable Bing Crosby in their road movies. From 1951, 52, and 53, here are Daffy, Elmer, and our star of the month, Bugs Bunny, in Rabbit Fire, followed by Rabbit Seasoning, and Duck, Rabbit, Duck. Rabbit Fire, the first short in the Hunting Trilogy we just showed, was the first time Bugs and Daffy shared leading roles in a cartoon. Director Chuck Jones was pleased with their interplay. According to Jerry Beck's book, The 100 Greatest Looney Tunes Cartoons, Jones thought their back and forth made Daffy's vulnerability and frustration more empathetic. As many of you know, Mel Blanc was the original voice of both Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. His talent shined especially bright in Rabbit Fire. Before you maybe shrug and say it was just 2 characters, consider that Blanc had to do their rapid-fire wordplay with each other, Daffy imitating Bugs, Bugs imitating a woman, and both Bugs and Daffy imitating Elmer. Since 1936, Mel Blanc created voices for the major Warner Brothers animation characters, except Elmer Fudd, who was voiced primarily by Arthur Q. Bryan. Coming up, we go from the cold, harsh terrain in Duck, Rabbit, Duck to a live-action 1971 film starring Richard Harris, who battles the elements in a Warner Brothers Western adventure. Man in the Wilderness is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Man in the Wilderness. Then Bugs Bunny with Daffy Duck. And later, Palm Springs Weekend. TGIF on TCM tonight.